$1.5 trillion economy now. World has changed. These global changes weren't just creating about new industry, new investment, new technology, and new clients. The question feels totally different at the end of the conversation. Not because Japan suddenly became weak, but because competitors improved faster. In many of the industries, Japan once dominated. That wasn't just Japan's story. It shows like success is never a permanent. So what is Tamil Nadu's biggest concern? Is it infrastructure? It definitely matters. But that doesn't create the transformation. Can an entire ecosystem, people, universities, MSME, government, entrepreneurs continue to learning together fast enough to stay ahead? That's the biggest thing that we need to. We should never believe in yesterday's success is enough for tomorrow. We need to take the yesterday's capability, and every opportunity will definitely have an expiry date. So we need to catch up. At this point, one thing had become clear. Tamil Nadu cannot rely on yesterday's success. It mostly should prepare for the tomorrow's opportunities. That naturally led me to another thought process that I had. Like, why is everyone talking about $1.5 trillion economy now? It was not happening 10 years ago. 20 years ago. 10 years ago, few did. Today, everyone like industry, investors, economists, almost everybody is talking about the $1 trillion and $1.5 trillion economy. What changed? At first, I was thinking it's about Tamil Nadu. Then I was looking into the world has changed. Around the world, manufacturers are redesigning supply chain that took decades to build. The pandemic, the geopolitical tension, and rising global uncertainty. All this forced companies to rethink where they manufacture and how to reduce the risk. This gives rise to like a China plus one strategy. Instead of depending on one single company, one single country. So where is the manufacturing cheapest? That is not the question anymore. How can we build a resilient supply chain? Where can we find skilled engineers with a world-class quality? How can we innovate faster? Where is the innovation happening around the world? Another transformation, countries are investing hundreds and billions of dollars into the semiconductor manufacturing because computer chips are now becoming a most important asset. It's reshaping factories, logistics, healthcare, engineering. All these are reshaping because of the AI. The rules of the global competition have changed now. The internet transformed the commerce. Today, AI, advanced manufacturing, and global supply chain redesign that we were discussing about. All these are transforming both of this. So these global changes weren't just creating about new industry. They were also changing the importance of exports. If Tamil Nadu want to become a $1.5 trillion economy, they have to become one of the strongest growth engines as export, because every dollar that earned from the global market brings a new income, new investment, new technology, and new clients or new customers and new opportunities of thousands of innovation and innovations. Like you can innovate new things. So instead of simply circulating the value, the global quality engineering capability, the strong industrial clusters, the deep supplier networks, everything we explored, over the last few minutes, like whatever we have been discussing about, wasn't just explaining Tamil Nadu's past, it is also explaining why the world look here today and how we can build it. 35% of India's automobile production is happening in Tamil Nadu. Around 40% of electric vehicles and 40% of India's electronics export. Another part, life sciences is going to get a huge investments going ahead. And renewable energy, we are all talking about a lot of things about renewable energy these days. Of course, and my favorite is deep technology, because everything is going to get changed in like whatever we are seeing today. So this opportunity isn't theoretical actually. Governments are ready and planning for it. And India has set an ambitious goal of by 2030-31, like Tamil Nadu alone need to contribute to knitwear exports of about $21 billion. And the same pattern is emerging in advanced manufacturing. A proposed semiconductor investment around Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi area worth around 80,000 crores. This isn't about one project. It's a part of much larger global transformation. Then once final insight brought everything together. For decades, success meant producing more. The future belongs to who creates more value by designing them, the values through all these designing improvements, and the opportunity is real. The only question is, will Tamil Nadu move before the opportunity moves somewhere else? Because history teaches us something important. Opportunities don't last forever. And this brought me into one of the final questions in the journey. If you want to deliberately build a $1.5 trillion economy, what kind of system would consistently create it? That's where everything finally came together. Throughout the journey, I thought I was learning about GDP, then industries and their productivity. The productivity one better at a time. Then it's about people. People automatically led me to the ecosystems. Then how MSMEs is playing their part. And eventually, none of those discoveries stood alone. They were all connected. The system, everything now makes sense. Whatever we have been discussing now, education, actually building the capability. The capability creates entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs build MSMEs. MSMEs strengthen the large industries. Industries compete globally through their exports, and the exports give us higher income. Higher incomes drive new investment, and investment improves education. So there is a flywheel created, and the cycle begins again. Of course, we need infrastructure, because infrastructure isn't about roads alone, right? Or the ports. Recently, we even know the desalination plant, right? That also is a part of. And roads might connect the factories, port the industries to the global market. Electricity is producers for a production to run. And when we say about the desalination, why is it more important? Imagine trying to convince a global manufacturer to build a factory without being able to guarantee a reliable water supply. It becomes an environmental issue. So that is why even that gets more prominent. So these projects kind of desalination matter. And one good thing is we are nearby the sea, so that supply a significant share to the Chennai's drinking water. Around 40%, I think it could be able to. So once we have a reliable water, and that creates another reliable industries. Once we get a reliable industries, that will attract long-term investment. So by now, we know all this part that we have been discussing about is for $1.5 trillion. Is it possible? Can Tamil Nadu become $1.5 trillion? That is how we started this. But now it is if the system continues improving, what should we expect? Based on everything we have explored, I think we should be able to achieve it by 2036. But the answer will not be decided by one announcement and one investment, or together all this contributes to the economy to build it. For example, watch what happens in Tirunelveli over the next 3 years. If that semiconductor investment breaks ground before 2029, Tamil Nadu is ahead of schedule even. Might be 2034 or 2035. But if that is getting delayed, then everything. Similarly, we need to look out for each of this kind of bigger investment where it is leading to that MOUs getting signed. If there is a signal that the timeline is getting slipped, that is the only thing we need to look for. The timeline might get slipped, but definitely we are getting there. So, because we are compounding our capabilities now. So, we began searching for the answer to a simple question: what is GDP? And everything we have explored. What we are discussing is never about economics. Every morning, long before the markets open, someone is already making it strong. Let's take a farmer walking into a field. An engineer improves the process. A teacher preparing tomorrow's workforce. An entrepreneur unlocks a door in a small workshop. A researcher asks one more question. None of them wakes up thinking about GDP. None of them wakes up thinking about what they are contributing to the $1 trillion economy. They are just doing their simple work today, a little better than yesterday. We ask whether Tamil Nadu could become 1.5 trillion economy. Today, the question feels totally different at the end of the conversation, because the number was never the destination. It's only outcome. The real question always been can we continue building a society where every generation leaves a better capability? If the answer is yes, the numbers will take care of themselves. An economy isn't built by the government alone. It isn't built by the businesses alone, and not by the technology alone. It's built by millions of ordinary people quietly creating extraordinary value every single day, one improvement at a time. That's how prosperity is engineered. And perhaps that's how Tamil Nadu's next chapter truly begins. Because in the end, a 1.5 trillion economy is never just a number. It was always a reflection of human potential.